Hi, my name is Hillel Weiss. I'm a clinical psychologist and a psychoanalyst. I'm part of the Jerusalem Hills Institute, which is a residential treatment center for very difficult children who've gone through abuse in all sorts of ways that I won't go into right now, from the ages of 5, 6, all the way through the teenage years. Part of the Jerusalem Hills Institute, we have a separate branch which is a training and treatment center. The treatment center treats children for psychotherapy in an outpatient in Jerusalem at reduced prices. We have a school for psychotherapy which trains and teaches social workers, psychologists, psychiatrists who have finished their second degree and are interested in deepening their deeper understanding of psychotherapy and a psychoanalytic dynamic understanding. Today I would like to specifically emphasize a new program that we've initiated that rests on the last 70 years of the residential treatment center that's been working in Jerusalem and now works in the Jerusalem Hills. And the new program that we've introduced is a training school for counselors, for social workers, for psychologists, for head counselors, in order for them to be able to deepen their understanding in the treatment of children in different residential treatment centers. The idea is that many times counselors and the head counselors do not get sufficient training in the deeper understanding of psychology and psychoanalysis of the difficulties that these children go through. So we've initiated a program that's right now is a one-year program throughout the year, once a month, in which students which are really people who are working in the field. They can be counselors, as I said beforehand, they can be head of counselors, they can be social workers. And what we're saying is, to be a child care worker is a profession. To be a child care worker, you don't just kind of meet a bunch of kids together and say, all right, we're going to give you a good time. And even if I'm a psychologist or even if I'm a social worker and I've gone through my basic training, the understanding is that to be a social worker in a residential treatment center, you need specific training to deepen your understanding in how to work with children, especially children who've gone through abuse, have acting out, many crises, and how to also, as the head of the program of a residential treatment center, how do I work with my workers? So let's say, how do I help a head counselor work with his counselors? How do I work with the principal of a school, of a institute like this, work with his people? One can say that this program that we've initiated is kind of delayed because there have been childcare workers and head counselors and social workers who have been working in these institutions for many years in Israel and throughout the world. And yet we find that when we bring in new workers, we find that they have not been trained and they have not really have a basic understanding what it is to be a worker, a childcare worker in a residential treatment center, especially for very difficult children. As I mentioned, this initiation of the Jerusalem Hills Institute is a new initiation and a new program. We've finished the first year. And what's unique about us is that we stem and grow and evolved from 70 years of experience in working with these children, and also from a theoretical point. When we do the training, we actually are touching on both bases, on both feet. One is the theoretical deep understanding, especially of Dr. Donald Winnicott, and from the initiator of this program 70 years ago, which is Dr. Yecheskel Cohen, who recently passed away. But the other leg that we rest upon is a lot of experience over the years. In that sense, we're unique. We try to collaborate with different organizations, but as is now, the School for the Training of Counselors and Head Counselors and Social Workers in the Residential Treatment Center is right now on our shoulders, and the investment is from each halfway home, each residential treatment center within Israel or educational centers. The funding is from them, and we're looking right now to collaborate both professionally and financially for backings in order to be able to make this program go further. As is now, it's not funded by the formal institutions in Israel, although we are in different initial collaborations with these people.